This app is Number Dragons. Nice game, it's fun to play, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use it. So first of all, you can always check how to play by clicking on how to play. And if you click on Show Me, it will actually go through and show you how to play the game. It says to win, you must fill in the grid with consecutive numbers that connect horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. So let's go ahead and click on this. As you can see, it's forming its chain here. Alright, you've won. So we can do it again if you like, or we can go back to the main page. Let's go back to the main page. And in here, this is score history. Now, if you click on score history, it shows that I played one game, and actually I played 20 games to create one set, and that gave me 3,296 points. And so this is the history screen. Now, in here is a legend screen where high scores are stored. These are out on the internet, and so these are people who played before and they got high score. And these are available when you have internet. If you don't have internet, the scores that are stored in your history accumulate up, and when you finally get internet, it'll come in here, search through here, find your highest value, and send it out to the internet to find out whether you deserve to be a legend or not. So that's how that works. Let's go back one more. This is the information page. You can turn off sound anytime by just clicking on here. Turn that off if you like, if you don't want to hear the background sound or the music. But if you go into information, tells you about who wrote the program, the artists, and the music. This lets you reset your history. If you want to start all over again, get rid of all your history, all your default values, as if you're brand new, you click here. If you want to see rules, now these are the rules. I already told you how the game is played, but these are the rules that tell you how to score higher. So it says each use of the undo button will reduce your score by 5 points. For each use of the peak button, you reduce your score by 50%. It says no reduction of points will reduce your score below 0 for a single game. This is so at the end of the game you can go in and peek and find out how the computer solved it and see how your solution stacks up with the computer's score. If you play the game very quickly, you'll get a time bonus. Okay, let's go play a game. Go back to the main menu. Say you want to create a new, play a new game. There are different kinds of games, different difficulties. There's a 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, 7x7, all the way up to 7x10. These games use a true AI, and because they use an AI for the shorter games, the 4x4, 5x5, they come up very quickly. But as we get into a 7x7 or 7x8 or 7x9 or 7x10, the AI has to think harder and figure out how to put the game up for you. And so sometimes these take a little longer. And you may not have noticed it, but there was a little infinity sign here, or a little glyph of a dragon going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And that is just to let you know, hey, I'm working. The computer's working here, but the AI is coming up. So if I click on this again, it takes a variable amount of time. Sometimes it takes quite a while. Sometimes it comes up instantly. Let's go ahead at 7x10. You'll see what I mean. 7x10. See how this is taking quite a time out there. And because it's a true AI, you don't know how long it's going to take to come up with a scoreboard. So I gave you something to look at, and it's not that it's slow. It's just that being a true AI, it chooses randomly the first square and the last square, then it calculates all the fields in between. It guarantees there's at least one solution. There's usually more than one solution, and if you come up with a correct solution, the computer will say, okay, you win. It doesn't have to be its solution. Let's go play a lower level game like a 4x4, and we'll see what happens. So here's a 1, and there's a 16, so I'm going to go 1 to 2. My next one's going to be 4, 4, 5, 6, chains up here. Now I have to get to the 10, so 7, 9 gives me 10, 11, 12, 13, and completes the chain, and I've won that game. See, I'm on the second game. I scored 305 points. That's my current score, is 305 points. I scored about 160 points for inside of here. And I didn't get a time bonus because I wasn't quick enough. Let's go back to new game again. I don't know if I can be quicker enough, but we'll give it a shot. You want to avoid creating orphans. If I go here and continue on, this square is orphaned, and it might cause difficulty later. So this is a strategy game, and sometimes it's very simple, and sometimes it's not. So you'll be surprised. Okay, get myself a new game, and just continue playing. I got a time bonus because I was quicker on that one. And that's how the game progresses. And if I go back to the main screen here, I can go to a higher level game, like a 5x5. And these games, as they get more involved, I've been careful to give you clues. Like here I'm showing you the 15 and the 14, the 21, the 12, the 2, the 1 and the 1 and 25 are your ultimate beginning and ends. But these others gives you clues as to where you have to go. And sometimes they're a blessing, sometimes they're a curse, because they don't let you just go anywhere you want. If you were able to go anywhere you want, they wouldn't be much of a game. But the computer is really quite annoying in how it just decides to do this. So if I click a new game, and you can click as many new games as you want. Come in here, you don't like this, just click on a new game. It produces an infinite number of games. Now, infinite mean for me is all possible combinations are possible to come up. But it's not a set number. You can play this over and over and over again, and it's millions of times before you would see the identical one come back up. Even if you had the same 1 and 25 position, you might get a different game because the AI does forward and backtracking in order to find a good solution. It also makes sure that every column and every row has at least one hint or clue or the beginning and end number. But that's how you play the game. As I said, it's a good way to train your mind as to logic. It's a good way to be able to look forward and solve problems. And it's just fun. And it's a lot. I really am not a fan of Sudoku, but and that's what made me think about writing this game, is that I sort of like the idea of Sudoku, but it's a little bit more like work than I want. This is a fun game and achieves the same amount of strategy and logical thinking. So I hope you like the game.